Testing, testing. Can you guys hear now? There we go. Hey, Timo, what's going on? Hey, Rasto. Hey, I'm listening. What's going on? How are you doing? Hey, Dan, what's going on? Moran, how are you guys doing? Uh, well, actually had a little bit more action than I thought we would. Um, we had that sell-off at the end of the day yesterday, and well, they popped it down here, then they took that inventory, sold it up here, then deep discount time. Took out the low of 2 days ago, and then I guess would be our weekly low, and then right back up again. But there's a seller at the close. So inventory is long. I think we're just going to go back and forth like this until the Fed. Now, margins are raised until after the Fed. So that's going to, yeah, it's going to take out quite a few traders, right, that are not going to be able to trade. Um, who wants to pay $600 to trade a micro? You know, unless the opportunity is really there, you know. Hey, Christian, how are you? Yeah, so let's take a look and see our 1 minute chart. We'll go take a look at that. Overnight lows at 34 quarter. The high is 59 quarter. Not a bad range for a pre-Fed overnight. Point of control still is up here on the overnight, so we really didn't spend that much, pick up that much volume down here. Let's see what happens when we open up. I think it's going to be choppy, and I think it's going to be slow. Uh, and I realized that I said we're going to do the execution lab today at 11, and it might be really slow. But what we're going to do at 11 o'clock Eastern time, we'll do our execution lab, and I'm going to let you guys talk to me about the trades that you've been taking and where you've been, doing well, where you need help, all that sort of good stuff. And that's really the way those labs should be. I used to do them in my coaching class, and it was just getting really, nobody wanted to talk, so I'm opening them up. I'm opening them up to let more people in our trading room. Hey, Ronan, how you doing? Hey, hey, how are you? So right now, we are trying to figure out whether this thing opens on a gap or not. And that's really it. There was this one trade, a look below and fail of 37.5. That was a nice trade if anybody took it. I think Harris took that. Um, I did not. I wasn't really even in front of the screen when it happened. So the levels are working. Tonight's levels are working. We're back underneath VWAP in this discount zone. We had a little bit of distribution up here. Pretty calm, quiet, open, looking for trades off the open. Let's take a look. Well, if we all open on a gap, I'm always a big believer in testing the lower stops to find the bid and then do one of those things if that's in the cards, right? I'm good, Ronan. How are you doing, brother? Small candles right now. It's a little slow here. I marked off the cost basis from 2 days ago. So this is Tuesday, this is Monday. And the cost basis is just down here. So we keep coming down and underneath. And I think as long as we stay in that cost basis, it's just going to be choppy back and forth. If we break that 41, I think we'll come and test the lower levels. So those are sort of what I'm looking at. Take it easy today. For me, Fed days are like a day off. You know, they're like a day can relax, work on some other business things. Of course, if a trade is there, go ahead and take it. Yeah. See, the nice thing is what happens today will set up some nice trading for the rest of the week and into the end of the year, right? We also have contract rollover that's going to be happening next week. Now, before anybody asks, the new contract is still not ready for prime time yet. The volume's only 7,500 contracts. It's trading at 69.02, so it's trading a little bit higher right now as we roll, right? And yeah, so no, I am not trading the new contract, and nor do I plan to trade it probably this week. We'll roll it over next week as volume catches up in the old one. To the old one, I'll switch to the new one. I put a video in there for you guys to watch on contract rollover. I hope you guys do. Yeah, small candles, slow business, right? Last 5-10 minutes we've had small candles. Business is slow. Going to see whether we open on that gap or if we don't. One of my sort of larger levels is 68.31 to the downside. There's a 4-hour chart I look at. It's a 54 and a quarter to 68.05. About the middle of it is 31. I reset my cost basis every day. Now I do have, Trader Y, I do have larger cost basis zones that are from longer time frames. So as I was saying, I have a 4-hour time frame chart. I set those and I leave it. My daily chart stuff I leave, right? In fact, I have cost basis that go back from 2020, April of 2020, around COVID times, and those cost basis levels still work almost 6 years later. So, but the 1 minute chart, that's my fresh information, right? See, the 1 minute is the most recent time frame, the most, what's going on. What these charts, right? Basically what these charts are is a sales chart. It's telling you how sales are going. A daily chart tells you how sales are going on a daily basis, right? And what are the sales? It's the acquisition and distribution of inventory, whether it's ES or NQ or a stock or whatever. It's just a sales chart. And you look at that sales chart, the 1 minute chart is like the sort of the most recent, fresh information, the most detailed information. So I reset those every day when I wake up in the morning, look at the chart. I'm up at 5 a.m. UK time, so that's when I do my balance zones. Well, we haven't had any volatility at all, Dan, so let's see what happens. This Fed statement, because I think they're already anticipating a cut, everybody's saying it's priced in. It might be a big air biscuit. Then again, we might have some action. You never know what you're going to get on these Fed days. I think there'll be a little bit of action going into the end of the year. There'll be some movement. All you really need as a trader, if you know what you're doing, all you really need is one, maybe two or three trades a day to make a living, right? You don't need to be trading 20, 30, 40 times. And most of the people who overtrade generally don't make money, right? They're just like dogs chasing cars, right? Yeah. Yeah, if those of you who have traded pre-market, hang on to that money now. Right? It's no good if you make it and then lose it. Right? If you make it again, losing it, it's you might as well have not done it at all. Bulls and bears, ducks and pigeons. I don't know, Dan. I don't even pay any attention to that stuff. I don't pay attention to the Fed. I don't pay attention to the conference or what they say because I'm a day trader and a scalper. They say something really important, somebody will say it, and I'll go, okay, but there's really nothing I can take and use to make money off that. Hey, Mr. Simpson, you want to like dial back on the Quaaludes a little bit? We know you're there, okay? Just take it easy, man. Tell your mom to make you breakfast or something now, now that you're awake. Jesus. Go play with your Legos. Yeah, let's see if that 41 area holds, Lear. Yeah, I've never actually watched those press conferences. Probably not in the last 15 years anyway. I don't think I ever watched them. Most of the Fed presidents end up, when they're talking, they end up putting me to sleep. Hey, Dragon, how you doing? The rollover video is in. It's in a bunch of sections, but I will repost it now since we're here. It's one of those things that I should always, because I post so much stuff. Where is it? I'll post it in the replay section too. And in the video section. Hmm. Nine minutes to the open. Christian, I do. We'll talk later. Definitely. So the rollover video has been posted in the video section, the replay section. I'll tag it. There we go. So it looks like we might open on a little gap here. Yeah, it's from a while back. I do the same, just like we do the same prep every morning, I do the same prep for rollover. Oh man, hopefully it's not this slow when it opens. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short session. So for folks who are joining us, I'm JJ. I'm vwaptrader1. Welcome to tradingsyndicate.org, one of the only rooms that's got its own AI to help you guys get good information. Come visit us. We'd love to have you with us. And this is where we teach people how to make a living. You know, we want you to make a living and actually earn a living and keep the money that you make. You know, like I was saying earlier, it's really no use doing this if you're going to give all the money back at the end of the day or the end of the month, right? I'm sure there are much more fun things you can do it with your time than lose all your money. Right? So we want to make good business decisions, ladies and gentlemen. Right? That's what it's all about. And it's all the boring stuff that everybody hates to talk about. That's all that boring stuff. That's what makes the difference in this retail game. You know, retail trading business it's not exciting. There's no excitement in retail trading. It's a job. You go and make your living, and then you keep the money that you made. That's the most important thing. We have to keep the money that we made. That it's got to be done. Okay, so good question, Matt. I use the ES to trade the micro. I have two DOMs. I don't look at the micro chart at all. I use the mini to trade the micro. But I have two DOMs, one for micro, one for mini. No problem. Pretty simple. Now we're back inside yesterday's range. So let's see. We got 4 minutes and change before this thing opens up. I'll do that in the execution class, Dragon. I really don't want to do that on YouTube. It's pretty simple, right? So you just go file. It's just the straight DOM. I don't use any kind of difference. Like you know how people they build their own Sierra chart. You can build some pretty fancy depth of markets, but it's not necessary. Hey, Omen, how you doing? I could show you what it looks like when it's on Sim, then it doesn't show the account name. So it's just this, right? So, you know, you put in your bid, you put in your stop, and off you go, right? It's really nothing to it. What you want to do with your DOM, Dragon, is you want to spend a lot of time practicing to know where the software buttons are so when you're taking trades, you don't have to like stumble around. That's my big thing. Sort of like running drills in football. Do you need help setting up your software, Dragon? Just DM me. And if I can't help you with it, I'll find somebody who can. Where do you think a beginner should start? It's a good question. Now, I'm biased, so I think a beginner should reach out to me, come into our trading room, and learn the business. And then I would focus on watching a 1 minute chart and watching price action on a 1 minute chart and learning why markets move the way they do. I do not use bracket orders. No. I put in a buy order, I put in the stop. As soon as that buy order gets hit, I go and throw sell orders out. So if I'm buying 42 and a quarter so I go 42 and a quarter, maybe 40 and 3/4 stop, 41 stop. And as soon as I get hit, as soon as I buy product, I'm putting my offers out at 45, 46, 47, just where the sellers were before. So every time I take a trade, it's got to be planned out. So if I know that there are sellers here and here and in this area here, between here and here, I'll spitball it and go halfway. So, Dan, if I go and buy this area here, put my stop here, I'm going to put one sell order here, one under there, and one under there, and sell as the market goes up. That's how I trade. So I don't get into a trade unless I know where I'm going to sell the product. If my sell orders don't get filled or executed, then I know someone is selling in front of me, right? Make sense? So as soon as I'm long, I'm a seller. As soon as I'm short, I'm a buyer. How do you set your stops so fast? Based on where the sellers are. Marky, you got to be fast. You could ask any Swiss banker. A slow trader is about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. You got to work on your speed, my brother. Even if you're trading like swing trading, why would you want to be slow executing? So no gap. Coming under that 41 area, let's see how it bids. I'm looking for the low of X period here and U, and I missed that. See, I didn't mark it off. Oh, you guys are such little babies. Program orders in your software. Practice! Grow faster, grow stronger. Put in the work, you guys. Oh my God. Put in the work. Right? How can you automate something that you don't know what you're doing well? I have no problem with automation, but why are you automating something that you can't do manually? You think the computer's going to help you? Yeah, all right. Looking for 40. Practice. Take the time. Take the time. Right? Yeah, Alexander, you should also know where the stops are, right? So if you're going long on a look below and fail of 37, right? the stop is not automatically a certain amount. If it's a very volatile market, it might be down here, right? At 34. If it's a slow market, you might be able to get away with a smaller stop. So that's what I want you guys to think, right? I want you guys to think. I want you guys to do the work. Because unfortunately, that's really the only way to get ahead in this business. Is you got to do the work. That's why you'll notice we have some pretty smart people in the room who try to automate this stuff, and it's not really going well for them, right? Right. Everybody wants to automate things, and we do have AI, we have all that beautiful stuff, but it's pretty hard to automate something that you don't understand. Yeah, exactly. When you get tired of losing, it gets easier. Thanks, Lear. Yeah. I don't see a trade here yet, folks. That's why I haven't called one out. What I'd like to see is a look below and fail of the overnight low. That'd be a nice long. But right now, because of the higher margin requirements, which produces a lack of follow through because there's less people in the store doing business, we know that where the sellers are. And then see right here. So if you were going long right now, gosh, where's the next seller going to be? They're going to be at 42 and a half, 42 and a quarter, right? Because the top of those two candles tell you that the sellers got in there. So you shouldn't be thinking of going long until we've flushed out the seller or group of sellers. There we go. There we go. Let's see if we can take out that overnight low. Getting closer. Getting closer. Now there's the look below. Let's see if we catch a bid when we look below. Not yet. Remember, I was watching that 31 area, 68.31. See, there's a little bit of short covering coming in here. Now, if you want to go long, I would wait until we get back up over the overnight low. And I'd be going long from, say, 35 to 38. I will let the larger traders work this area out. And if you're a rookie trader, you should wait for 37 and a half. Because then it's a lot cleaner. Let's see. Long 35 and 3/8, out one at 37, and I think I'm going to have to get rid of the other one at, let's see if we catch a bid. If we stay bid, I can hold it till maybe 37 quarter. There we go. There we go. Quick little trade just in here till up there, just like I said. There's going to be a seller. There are going to be sellers up here. So let's see if we can clean out that seller here at 39.5. There you go. There you go. Right? Next target will be just up here, 41. Next up seller is at 42. Next area is going to be 44. See? Nice work, Howard. Well done. Now keep that money, brother. Look below and fail, folks. Works every time. No, just kidding. It's a good trade. It's a good trade because the sell orders that take you underneath 37, they get taken out here, and the market moves higher looking for supply. It's the oldest trade in the book. That trade has been going on since they were selling, cavemen were selling rocks to other cavemen. You know, and that's really all we want to do. So say you had a little bit of a larger account and you're buying 35 and a half, 36 and a half, and you buy 5, 10 contracts, throw them out at 41, right? You're done for the day. Now go play golf or fly model airplanes or fly a kite or whatever it is, whatever tickles your fancy. And that's what we do here at the Trading Syndicate, right? Those are the kind of trades we wait, we wait. Remember up here I was saying there's nothing to do? So we wait for that. I called it out. It happened. We waited until we got back over here. Smaller traders wait till here. Go make your money. Now chill, right? Now you let the rest of the dogs chase cars, right? You'll let them, you know, oh no, you got to, hey, at least you got a snowblower, Jeff. Well done. Now, let's see what we do here. What I'm curious about now is how long do we stay underneath VWAP, which is 68.45? And can we clean up enough of this to go sell this over VWAP before the Fed? I don't look at initial balance because 10 years ago, Jim Dalton told us not to look at initial balance. So I didn't know why. He said, don't look at it. So I said, okay, I don't look. And I've never looked at it. Now, some people do look at it and use it. So, but I just don't, I haven't done the work. So there's a lot of stuff, you know, moving averages and this and that. I don't poo-poo them. I just don't know because I haven't put in the work. So I don't know how to use them. I've heard a lot of people take the breakout from initial balance. And what Dan's talking about to folks who don't know what initial balance means the first 2 half-hour periods in the market. So we're in the first half-hour period now, according to market profile. Yeah. Those 44 sellers are still there. Yeah, I don't even know how you would. What are the trade mechanics behind that? See, that's really curious. Like, I look at that. So you're waiting for a 9 EMA to cross the high or low of the initial balance. So where do you put your stop? And how do you know whether the trades? See that the mechanics of it are what fascinate me. Also known as the opening range. There you go, Carnivore Kid. Hey, there's VWAP. Hello. If we take out the close, we might run some stops. Let's see. And getting above, I'd say 48, 49. If we can get above 49 and stay there, then we're going to go do some retailing. Exactly, Harris. Now you got it, my friend. Now you're cooking with gas. Now, see, that's exactly what I wanted you to say. Beautiful, right? The trapped longs, they flush out into the hands of the shorts who are just waiting there for some nice cheap product. They gobble it all up, and the market runs from 33 all the way back up to 46, right? I was watching the dropout um, about Theranos, and they showed when she was like standing in line to buy an iPhone, and how crazy they were getting over the fact that the one guy bought the first one, and I was like, that's it. They're pushing up against the door here. You see, because the product is usually for sale in this level here. So when they get a deep discount, boom, they come pushing in, right? Yes, Edgeful's a great company. Andre, the CEO, has been on our podcast. Great guy. Nice software, too. Now let's see if we could stay above VWAP. Hmm? Let us see. Uh, Here we go, 46 to 49. Yeah, it's really good for that stuff because I'm not good at keeping stats. That's why I like Edgeful because I'm not good at keeping stats. I'm not a breakout trader. We're looking for 48, 49. Hey, I miss my friends in Canada, but hey, it's minus 26 back home. I don't miss that. Looking for 49, folks. Looking for 49. Close. How did you escape? Hey, I did my time. No. I did what? I did 54 years in Canada. No, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I love Canada and I love the people. The weather kicked the crap out of me. Now, what are we going to do with this ES? I'm getting old, so that minus 30 weather is not good for me. If we stay above, can we see there were sellers here for quite a while. Let's see if these buggers are gone now. Ah, Patriots fan. I haven't watched football all year. 50 and a quarter is the top of this balance. Let's see if it interacts at all. Time to zoom out a little bit. Now, how many people do you think are short under 44? I would say quite a few. Looking at those big green candles, you can always tell how short people get on when a market sells off, right? The smart money comes in and covers, right? Like Harris was saying. And the dumb money's just hitting it here and hitting it here, adding to it here, and this is where they realize, oh crap, it's holding above VWAP. Let's go and cover. Good stuff, Dan. So okay, look above and fail of 50, probably back down to 45. Sorry, 46. Let's see. See, look where it stopped. I'm bad. I didn't have that all mapped out. I should have had this marked off before the open. I have been taught to sell into a breakout. See, because a breakout creates buying. So if it goes to the upside, right, the breakout creates buying, and we're all just waiting. We're like just waiting, like jackals, right, after a fresh kill to just sell, 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 sell. See, you break a level and you just sell into it. That's how you distribute. So I have a very tough time buying a breakout. Now, the mechanics of one time framing. Well, I'm glad you asked. How you doing, Hex? The mechanics are like this. So the market goes down. Let's do it this way. Hex, you give me an order to sell 5,000 contracts up here. Okay? And I'm selling, and I'm selling, and I'm selling, and I'm selling. And maybe at this level, I've got maybe 500 or 1,000 left. But let's pretend I'm an algorithm, right? In the old days. So I tap the market down, sell the rest, maybe buy back the 500 from you, call you and say you're done on 5K. Then I let the brakes go, the market pops up, I sell those 500 contracts there, right? The shorts who shorted down here, I bought their paper too. So when it comes back down, I just stop selling at the bottom of every candle. That creates that one time framing. So one time framing is a fancy way of saying the bid is following the offer, or the buyers are following the sellers. And that's why the trend line guys have that trend up. When it's trend up, the buyers are following the sellers higher. When it's trend down, the sellers are putting it on sale to try and get as many buyers as they can and unload their inventory. I like selling into breakouts, Trader Y. Right? When I see a breakout, I'm like, oh, I wish I had 1,000 contracts to sell into that. Right? Because that's like a gift from the heavens. That's like when, see, look how we're hitting that 51 area right there. Right? That's like when the goddess of order flow opens up the heavens and drops like $30,000 into your hands. Right? Those are beautiful when you get to sell into a breakout. You can only hope for a breakout. That's like when you're long like 10 million shares of a stock and then somebody mentions it in a chat room and it just catches fire and all they just come running in to buy and you can't sell it fast enough. Oh God, that is purely orgasmic. There is nothing like selling 5, 10, 20, 30 million dollars worth of stock before everyone's woken up. It is the best feeling in the world. Even if it's not your stock and you're just executing an order for a client. I love liquidating. So see how we're putting it on sale now? So our cost basis, if you went and drew a volume profile, right, as many like to do, right? So let's just draw a volume profile from this area down. See, we're going to come right back into this cost basis. So this was, if you were redoing your balance zones, this would be your cost basis, this would be your profit zone, and this would be your discount zone. So it was cost basis, discount, grab it, go sell it, bring it back down. Notice where we stop? What a coinky dink. Look. Once you learn how the market works, you're never going to look at it the same way again. And you're going to get rid of about 80 to 90% of the useless stuff that wasn't making you money. Right? It's a simple business. It's been around for thousands of years. Right? It's just automated now, so it's more efficient, just like any other business. Look, they make cars with robots now, right? Massive debt fuel deals are back on Wall Street. Oof, that's good. Yeah, I'm a seller. I'm a liquidator. That's all I think about is how can I sell $50 million worth of stock today for a client, right? Or if I'm lucky myself, right? So that those are the concepts I bring into retail trading. So I don't want you guys to be suckers, right? I want you to be the smart money in the room, right? Let's see if we hold VWAP now. Okay, while I have your attention, yeah, we're not holding VWAP. We're going to go back into the discount zone. I'm looking for this 42, 41 and 3/4 level. If you're short, that's brilliant because you found, see, you saw a seller here. See, I forgot to call this out. See? My discipline is lacking, right? I should have been calling a short when you saw seller, 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 right? But VWAP was in the way, so I was kind of, you know. Down past 41 and 3/4. Let's see where we find the bid. Okay. Now tell me for real, tell me the truth. How many of you, when you're trading, are scrolling on your phone at the same time? Crickets. I'm just asking. I have no phone. That's the best way, Alexander. That's the best way. It's a bit of a chop right now, Dan. Let's see if that seller's still at 47, folks. Maybe we've cleaned it up now. Let's see. I'm using the previous day low as a reference here. I know there's a lot of references right there. If we can hold the close in the previous day low, I think we will move a little higher. That's seller at 47. So if I was long 46 and 3/4, I would have a 48 and a quarter lookout offer. Now, what's a lookout offer, right? Long 46 and 3/4, I've got a sell order at 48 and a quarter. And if that sell order can't get taken, yeah, then I better hop out of the trade, right? So what I usually do is when we do the look below and fail, my biggest problem is I get in on this green candle and then get stopped out. Then it goes underneath VWAP, cleans itself up here, and then pops. That is one of the hardest things I have learned how to do is wait for that. Or scratch it and then buy it back. So this time I'm long 47 and I'm selling 48 and a half and 48 and a quarter. And I have one left and I'm out the last one at 48. Not the greatest trade, but at least I didn't screw it up the first time like I usually do. So happy for that. There's going to be a seller at 49. If we can clean them out, we're looking for 50 and a quarter. If I had more contracts, I'd be selling them here. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, look below and fail. This one was a little trickier because it went up, came back down. This one just went blasted, right? But this one a little trickier. It poked its head up. Those sellers, we knew the sellers were going to be there. So that kind of made me go, okay, hold back. Maybe wait a little bit. You know what I mean? Yes? No? Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. Now, do you understand why I mark off where the sellers are going to be? Because it actually helps you make money. Simple. It's a real pain in the ass when VWAP's right in the middle there, isn't it, Lear? It's like having a goalie there hitting you with the stick every time you go near the crease. Little hockey reference for my fellow Canadians. Exactly, Alexander. 100%. Now you're cooking with gas. Of course it's difficult. And you are going to get chopped up when you try doing this for the first time, Owen. Right? There, Colin. Right? Now, you guys saw me take that trade, but you didn't see me screw it up the hundreds of times that I have screwed it up learning how to do it. Right? That's the thing. And what made it a lot easier is once I know which trades to focus on and which ones to ignore, it makes life a lot easier. Now this is choppy. I wouldn't trade this right now. Wait a little while, right? You're gonna wait for some better order flow now. You'll get there, Oman. You'll get there. You just got to put in the work. It helps if you know what trades to focus on. I mean, if you could cut out 80-90% of the noise, it would help you with your concentration. There you go. Good stuff. Let's call it a goalie mitt instead of a catcher's mitt. It's well, you see, the problem with VWAP is everybody's there. You know, everybody is at VWAP, and so it's getting trampled backward and forward and sideways. Great question. So why do they raise margins? Because we're trading with the brokerage firm's money. So you cannot trust traders. They will never admit they're wrong, and they will blow up your firm. So you got to raise margins to keep the tire biters out. Make sense? Exactly. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, it'll come back. Right? Oh, I'm only down 200 grand in a $3,000 account, but don't worry, it'll come back. Sorry. Uh, so let's see now. We're cleaning out. See how we cleaned out that area under 50, Dan? Right? Sellers at 50, 51 are still there, right? Hmm. Oh, this is really slow. Really, really slow. See how they're selling into the breakout? Not that that's a breakout. It was 2 ticks. But do you see how they're selling into it? Just like I said, when this period took the high of A by 2 ticks, they just immediately stepped in and sold into it. Yeah, Dan. Because if you sold here and you sold here, why wouldn't you sell here? Because everybody else is. See, you guys, this is what Badir and I are working on. We're working on a simulator to help you guys learn what it's like to trade size. And once you trade some size, you're going to understand the rules of size. And I don't talk about it a lot because I'm trying to teach you guys a trade setup and I want you to focus on that. But a lot of times people have trouble visualizing what's actually going on because the chart doesn't tell you what's going on unless you know the business, right? Now that you know it's a sales chart, you can see accumulation, distribution, things like that. But most people don't know that. But the other thing that they don't know, and one thing that a chart cannot tell you unless you know what to look for, is competition, right? The competition amongst sellers. And everybody thinks, oh, it's buyers and sellers are fighting each other. No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Buyers and sellers don't fight each other. Like when you go in, if you go into Walmart to buy a TV, does the person selling it to you, does he hit you with a baseball bat? No, right? But Walmart and Target are going to try and fight to sell you the same TV. Now do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So when you hear people say buyers and sellers are fighting each other, right? You know they're full of crap. Because you just picture it. I go into a store to buy something. The guy who owns the store comes rushing at me with a knife. It's not really a smart way to do commerce. Right? Now business is slow and we have sellers at 50, 50 quarter, 50 half, right? So the choppier and the smaller the candles, the slower the business, which means less follow through for us, which means, so for all of you who've been to Vegas, this means that somebody got all the good shrimp at the buffet. 1 tick. Or double top. Spyro Gyra. Nice. Hey, there you go, Gabbett. Spyro Gyra. Catch the sun, Lear. Catch the sun. Here we go again. Let's go. If we can we get up to 52? We'll call the Wall Street Journal if we can get a 52 print. Well, you got to understand, $6 million man, that these markets all have different order flow and different agendas. As much as you try and correlate them, the order flow in every single market's not going to be the same at the same time. It's just impossible. Is anyone looking at RTY these days? I remember about 4 years ago it was really popular. Hey, we got a 52 print. Call the Wall Street Journal. Woohoo! That's why I don't like correlating markets. Because it's very I mean, we have enough to worry about without having to correlate. Yeah, see, I don't even look at that stuff. I have enough time. I got to concentrate on this. If I can't concentrate on this, I can't make money. Yeah. See, I'm a one-trick pony. So I always do the same thing. So I don't care what YM and RTY are doing. If it looks below and fails the previous day low, you go long for me, or the overnight low, right? I've simplified this so I mean I could cancel my Wall Street Journal and my Bloomberg subscription and really not miss a beat. I read that stuff just because it's kind of like gossip to me, right? Yes, POC moved up. We're getting some distribution. Remember what we said? We're going to take this cheap crap here, right? Here's our cheap crap, and we're selling it here. See? For dollars. Now, I'm not poo-pooing people who correlate. I just think if you're a new trader and you're not consistently profitable, just there's enough information on here that you guys are missing because you're not concentrating without even trying to correlate markets, right? There's so much information here that 99% of people they don't even know that there's a seller, right? Look above and fail of 50, cover at VWAP, right? Yeah, so when indices are diverging, it could indicate rotations. Well, the chart's telling you that there's a rotation right here. Sorry, I didn't mean to be, but like the chart's telling you that the market's rotating, right? I don't know. I'm just a simple guy. I don't want to. I have this thing about people trying to sound smart because I've been doing this for 34 years, going on 35. And I would rather be looked at as an idiot and simple and make money than be thought of as intelligent and can't trade my way out of a wet paper bag, right? I don't want to sound smart. I just want to help people make money. If you can focus, folks, you'll make money. If you can do the work, you'll make money, right? If you want to be smart and never wrong, you're going to get your ass handed to you in this business. The more complicated you make this, you're just going to get cleaned out. You're going to be fish food. Why do you want to be food? You don't want to be food. Hey, Anne-Marie, how are you? Are you all ready for the holidays? You seem like a person who would be all ready for the holiday. All organized. Completely the opposite of me. We've got to clean out those 68.50 sellers. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, Mark. Is the Fred stuff already priced in? I have no idea. Anything that could really shape things up? I have no idea. I got to let the chart tell me, right? Now, what I'm not worried about, what I'm curious about is see that seller. There they are again. They're there, they're there, they're there. They're like like a bad smell. They're not going away. I am not smart enough to figure out what the Fed's going to do, what the macronutrient economic guys and gals are doing. I'll let them do all that stuff. I will let them work it all out, and then the analysts will tell the traders what to do, and the traders will start building out the chart. Once the traders start building out the chart, then I can see what's going on. Remember 68.54? Exactly, Anne Marie. Exactly. Exactly. We get we get paid to understand and execute the process and the business that creates the chart, which is the auction process. I've been looking at 68.54 for quite a while now, for weeks now. And we had a seller there. If you we see, we had that seller at 68.54 all the way at month end, month end, month end. Then they popped it, came back down, and we've been going back and forth over 68.54 like crazy. Absolutely crazy. See, our low was 30 and three quarters, so we just went one tick under that 31, which is halfway of this zone, 5.5 to 54 quarter. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm as curious as everybody else is. Till then, I'll just take my look below and fail trade and my look above and fail. If you came into the market right now and you were looking at this, like say you just woke up and you started, you'd be, oh wow, there's a balance zone right there. You guys see that balance zone? We're just going back and forth in it. Just a nice clean chart with nothing on it. You had VWAP on there so you know you're in distribution, right? It's really, you're right, Adbury. There's so much information that in the old days, don't take this the wrong way. I mean, with the same age. In the old days, there was less information available, right? Now it's almost like there's too much information available. So they're just like throwing all this information out at us. So what do we really need to make money? You know, like now it's like information overload. Everywhere you look, this guy's saying that, this guy's saying this, CNBC says one thing, Bloomberg says another thing, Wall Street Journal says another thing, Financial Times says another thing, right? And then you've got one analyst fighting with the other analyst because, you know, they don't agree on stuff. How do you know? There's only one person who tells the truth, and that's the chart. In the old days, they used to say, deal guys lie, brokers lie, everybody lies, but the tape never lies. Now, We'll we'll upgrade that to modern times because we don't use ticker tape anymore, right? The chart never lies. The chart never lies. The chart is the most accurate description or representation of the transactions that are taking place in that auction process that Anne Marie was talking about. So those are the transactions being recorded in a graphical form so it's easier on our eyes. They're always accumulating and distributing, Anne Marie. But right now there'll be a net seller unless more buyers come in. So how market making works is if they see buyers, they will accumulate, right? If they see buyers and they see that flow coming in, they'll start accumulating. On a day like this, I would say there's a lot of distribution because here's the thing. On profile, this is kind of interesting. We see that the point of control from the overnight is down here, right? So we're going to try and, like we were down under these levels, underneath the close for a while, right? So right now I can see that if I was like, if you and I were long 10,000 contracts each between maybe 39 and 44, we'd be selling it with both hands. You know, you and I'd be like, hey, this is JJ. JJ, can I show you a bid? And before you even say bid, I'd say sold. And you wouldn't say, how much? I go, how much do you want? Right? So that's cool. So what's over 52, Lear? Oh, let's see, let's see. What do we have over 52? The top of this zone is 58. We have no idea what will happen, Sodbuster. What do you think? Unfortunately, I'm not a guy who predicts Fed decisions. That's not my stick. I can tell you that there's a seller at 50, and we're looking for 46, 47 on the downside. But I can't tell you what will happen at 2 o'clock in the afternoon New York time when it's 10:30 there. That's a tough one, my friend. Seems we might just trade between 31 and 54 and just kind of go back and forth until the big event. Hopefully, it's not like one of those Mike Tyson fights in the 90s where he comes out, tells us what's going to happen, and then nothing happens. It's like when Tyson knocks the guy out in the first round. See you, Alex. Have a good one. Okay, let's see if we can hold yesterday's low. Exactly. Oh, that woman that he was married to, the actress, both of them. uh, hey, Leslie, how you doing? Exactly. Yeah, this is choppy. So we're going to be done here. Please come visit us at the Trading Syndicate. We'd love to have you. I'm JJ. I'm vwaptrader1 on X. If you have any questions, please DM me. If you need any help, DM me. I'm always around. Have a great trading day. Be safe out there, okay? And we'll see the rest of you guys in the trading room at 11 o'clock, which is in half an hour. We'll go over some execution, and if you're not around, don't worry, it will be taped or recorded is the right word now since there's no tape. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Anne Marie, thank you for being with us. And we'll see the rest of you in half an hour. Bye for now.